Everybody ready for another story time? Good, because we got a long one tonight. Thrones of Eldraine pre-release pack. This is new. I just went ahead and tore it open off camera because I had to do it manually. The Morgul Blade is lost in action at the moment. Let's get into it, man. What are we looking for here? A Great Henge, maybe? By the way, older pre-release pack, in case you couldn't tell, because of the much smaller box. The much different orientation of the box. Open it sideways. I don't think there's dye in here. No spin down. Oh yeah, there is. Hiding down there in the bottom. I'm not familiar with this stylo box. I haven't opened one of these before. Let's see if we can slide that guy out. We got a poisonous green spin down. How about that? There's our Throne of Eldraine stamp on there. Put him on the side. You got his little insert to keep the dye in play. Interesting box. I kind of like that better, actually, I think, than the other ones. It feels, oddly enough, though it's smaller, it feels sturdier. Doesn't feel quite as flimsy. We've got probably something cool to unfold here. Let's take a look at the tail. Teaches you how to build a pre-release deck. You always need to know that, just in case you forget. High King Kenrith. Kenrith, never heard that before, has vanished. In his absence, suspicion ripples throughout the realm, and many fingers point toward the fey denizens of the mysterious wilds. Now the realm marshals its bravest knights to venture into the wilds in search of the missing king, and bring his captors to justice. The journey will be dangerous. While not all fey are hostile toward the humans of the realm, only a fool would trust them completely. Even the friendliest are wily, mischievous. It will take every bit of courage and ingenuity at your disposal. But when you return triumphant, you will take your rightful place in the grand legend of Eldraine. I think a poster could have been cooler. I mean, that's a lot of... If they were going to do this, they could have at least done it like scroll work, storybook, I don't know. Just something different. Let's not mince words. Arena code long since expired. Divider that's pretty thick, pretty good quality. And our promo card from September 2019. Oh, wow. They even have 20th and 29th. Specifically the 20th and 29th of September 2019. A Lochmere Serpent. Gorgeous art on that, by the way. Sam Burley. Nice job. I think there's just the one in there, so we'll keep it sealed for now. Let's get into the real business here. 6 Thrones of Eldraine. 15 card booster packs. This is before, or at least they weren't doing these drafts that play was not even around then. Just straight up booster packs. Doesn't get any better or simpler than that. Right off the top, Weaselback Redcap, the Goblin Knight. These all ought to be pretty new to me. Prized Griffin, Mantle of Tides, excellent. Wolf's Quarry. It's like little pigs. Yeah, 3 little pigs. I like it. Smitten Swordmaster. Dwarven Mine. It's a cool idea for land. Oh, enters battlefield untapped to create a 1/1 red dwarf creature token. That's cool. I like that. Weapon Rack. Move to a... Oh, nice. Move to a creature. That's cool. Brimstone Trebuchet. As I've said before, I think they should have more of these types of artifacts or creatures or whatever in Magic. I think that's cool. The Golden Egg. Draw a card. Or add 1 mana or gain 3 life, depending on what you're going to do. Tall as a beanstalk. Realized a bit late that he was supposed to plant the magic beans. Oh. Drown in the lock. Here we go. That's what happens when you mess with the spirits of the lock, man. That is cool. Fairy Vandal. Creature Fairy Rogue. Nice. Cauldron's Gift. Cool name for a card. Oh, yes, Adamant. Adamant. I haven't seen that in a long time. And there is a rare Piper of the Sworn. Doing your best Pied Piper of Hamelin there. Control some rats and they have menace. If it has ears, it will dance to my tune. Very nice. I like that. And our land is a very storybook fantasy fairy looking forest. And a gruesome food token. Well, Off to a storybook start with Throne of Eldraine. Let's see what we got here. Well, I can tell right off the top we got another Weaselback red cap. We just got a little Goblin Knight army waiting in here for us. Enterprise Grip. Okay. This wouldn't have been bad to draft with, I suppose. Sporecap Spider. 1/5 with reach. That's unique. Foreboding Fruit. That pair. I don't know. Might lose some life. Barrow Witches. Return target night card from your graveyard to your hand. That's pretty cool. Breath for breath. Death for death. Corridor Monitor. Tap target artifact or creature you control. I like that art. That's different. That's neat. Cool. I'm gonna mess this up. Garenbrig Paladin, Giant Knight. Okay, we got a lot of knights in here. I like it. I guess that's kind of the thing. Another Dwarven Mine. Another weapon rack. Another Brimstone Trebuchet. A Shambling Suit. So this would have been, we're only a third of the way in, 2 packs into the 6, but this so far, I think we would have been okay to draft this if we had to play on the 28th or 29th of September, 2019. Red cap melee. Ooh, 4 damage if a non-red permanent is dealt damage. This way you sacrifice a land. Okay, that's interesting. Kenrith's Transformation. Oh, is he green elk creature? Castle Garenbrig is our rare. Just the battlefield tapped unless you control a forest. There's where all the Garenbrig Knights hang out. Paladins, rather. Without strength, the realm would succumb to the wilds. That is an amazing piece of artwork right there. That is truly gorgeous. Adam Paquage in a plains, very fairy-looking plains lands. Reminds me of something from, yes, Final Fantasy. I know. I can't escape it right now, man. It's everywhere. Make some more room. 1 red cap next to another. Here we go. Pack number 3. Red Throne. Another red right off the top. So far, we would have definitely been drafting a little red. Rimrock Knight. Dwarf Knight. Dwarf Knight, Goblin Knight, Giant Knight. Outflank. Deals damage to target attacking or blocking crew. That's cool. Control the number of creatures. Oh, blocking creature equal number of creatures. But cool. That's nice for a little one drop instant. Elf Druid, dude. Elf Druid. Rose Thorn Acolyte. Seasonal Ritual. Like that. Ooh, there you go. Doesn't get much more fairy tale or storybook than a tempting witch. Murder clad in crimson beauty, at end to life and love and duty. Barrow Witch incantation. That is creepy. Hengewalker. Golem. Affected by the wild magic flowing through the great henge. Oh, and there's the castle back there. Read the soul! Man, I like the incantations on here. As I've said, I think it should be a rule. You have to read the flavor text whenever you play these in an actual game of Magic. I don't know if anybody would go for that, but I like it. Into amethyst I pour, envy's shadow, sorcerer's gleam. Lure the one whose scorn I bore, that I may hear one final scream. Roving Keep. That's pretty neat. That's different. Got another corridor monitor. Flutterfox. As long as you control an enchantment or an artifact, Flutterfox has flying. Crashing Drawbridge. Ooh, gain haste. That's funny. Yeah, I like that. Animating Fairy. Cauldron's Gift again. And Sir Alan. Alan, the Lion's Claw. The realm must never yield to the chaos of the wilds. Oh, right. Finally. Not all, I haven't opened that many, but I haven't seen any yet. Wilds, Thrones, whatever. Haven't seen any of these cool storybook showcase cards. I am so happy to finally have one. And what a cool, different artwork for that, man. Fairy Wizard, Fae of Wishes. Granted is your sorcery adventure. And then you get a flying 1/4 with discard, return Fae of Wishes to its owner's hand. Cool. Protect yourself from some damage. Red Mountain. Quite a mountain indeed. I don't know what that what those are, but man, they're a fan of them in Throne of Eldraine, huh? And a dwarf token. Creature, yearning for the mines. Right on, let's set the Fae of Wishes aside. That's pretty cool. Set these to the side. And now we're starting on the back nine, so to speak. Magic Golf. And we do not start with a red, we start with a white, but it is a prized griffin, so not anything that we're not familiar with. Mantle of the Tides. Excellent. Insatiable appetite. You may sacrifice a food. If you do, whoa, +5/+5 until end of turn otherwise. +3/+3. Sweet. Forever young. Any number of target creature cards from your graveyard to the top of your library. Sweet. Crashing Drawbridge. Tall as a beanstalk. Barrel Witches. Weapon Rack. Beloved Princess. Lifelink. Can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. Huh. That's different. Usually it's less. Oh, right, man. Another one. Excellent. Despite all the red we're pulling, we've got two little storybook showcases. Hypnotic Sprite, 2 blue fairies in the showcase. Counter target spell with Mesmeric Glare. Convert a mana, cost 3 list, and then you get flying. 2/1. I like it. Let's set that one to the side as well. Spectre Shriek. Well, those were what I mean, not those specifically, but anything with that showcase treatment is what I've been looking for. We've got the Spectre Shriek. Choose a non-land card, exile that card. Cool. Savvy Hunter. That's different. Warrior. Human Warrior. Different card. And our rare is the Iron Crag Pyromancer. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, Iron Crag Pyromancer just 3. Nice. Ooh. Fear of fire is a sensible instinct. If I were you, I'd be terrified. All right, and we got a foil Lockthwain Gargoyle hanging out in the back. That's cool. Some amazing art on that thing. Oh, wow. Look at that Plains art, man. That's gorgeous. Howard Lyon, nice work. Nice painting, bro. No table required. No insert required. We got an uncommon and a rare storybook showcase. We're off to a great start. Let's see what else we got in here. Pack number 5. 60 cards, straight up. Oh, well, we got another little insert there with the human creature token. Put her to the back. Fortifying Provisions. Oh, yeah, I remember this one. We pulled this in Wilds, didn't we? Or was it Dungeons and Dragons, maybe? To the king, to the circle, and to the realm, and to not dying. Yes. Tome Raider, not to be confused with Tomb Raider. There we go. Another fairy to add to the collection. Crystal Slipper. Cool. That is cool. Yeah, definitely a fairy tale artifact equipment +1 and has haste. Cool. Garenbrig Squire. He's just a human, not a giant. Malevolent Noble. Slain a dozen witches, luring each with the promise of fresh children. But this, on point for old style Brothers Grimm storybook, but the fairy tale went dark there at the end. Nice, man. Speaking of fairy tales going dark at the end, it doesn't, that's the last thing you see is the outside of the witch's cottage. And, well, second to last thing, because the last thing is the inside of the oven, am I right? Wow. That is rad. That is great art. Marleaf Rider. Elf Knight. Okay. Got our Elf Knight now after our giants and goblins and everything else. Silver Flame Ritual. Put a +1/+1 on each creature you control. And if at least 3 white mana was spent to cast the spell, they gain vigilance until end of turn. Wow. That's cool. I love the art on that too. Knights of the Round Table stuff. Searing Barrage. 5 damage to target creature. Damn. That is... Look at the mouth on that thing. There's a wicked. Eye Collector. Combat damage to a player. Each player puts the top card of their library into their graveyard. It's kind of a different art style. Kind of a gruesome. Definitely gruesome. Look at that eye. Clockwork Servant. A gnome. At least 3 mana of the same color is spent to cast a draw card. Okay. Revenge of Ravens. This is 1 life and you gain 1 life. Wow. And there's Sir Alan again. Alan, David. Oh, cool. That would have been neat in the showcase, but I can't complain since we already got 2 and I hadn't seen 1 until today. Lovestruck Beast. Beast Noble. Heart's Desire you can create. That 1/1 human token. And exile this card. You may cast it later from exile. Lovestruck Beast can't attack unless you control a 1/1 creature. So there you go. His heart's just not in it. Unless he's got his beloved by his side. There's another and a very different mountain with the fairies all over the place. Awesome. Well, folks, down to the last pack. Let's hope it's a good one. I'm sure it will be. We only started with white and red. Find that interesting. Just a tidbit of info. Youthful Knight. So for 2, you get first strike, 2/1. In the wilds, your true training will begin. Cool. Queen of Ice. Right on. Human Noble Wizard. Rage of Winter. Tap and it doesn't untap. Next step, and then deals combat damage to a creature. Tap that creature. It doesn't untap. Wow. I like the ice theme. There's an Ogre Knight. Ogre Errant. Cool, man. Sorry I keep reading all of them. I'm unfamiliar with a lot of the stuff in this set. I saw this pre-release pack at the original LGS. My man Jay hooked me up with it for, I thought, what was a fair price, and it has turned out pretty rad. Fell the Pheasant. Seen that one before, too. Lash of Thorns. That is worth it for those 2 showcases, but that's just +2/+1 against Death Touch until for a 1 instant. That's nice. There's another Garenbrig Paladin. Let's take a moment to appreciate everything going on in the art style there, because I love it. And he's got like a tree for a spear for jousting lance. That crazy artwork on Eye Collector again. The Scalding Cauldron. That is the opposite of the trebuchet or the catapult or ballista or what have you. Is the Scalding Cauldron, 3 damage to a target creature. And speaking of which, Brimstone Trebuchet. Crashing Drawbridge. We got all the cool artifacts in here. Wintermoor Commander, that's new. Haven't seen that. Death Touch 2 and toughness is equal to the number of knights you control. I like that. The commander's only as strong as the guys in the army, right? And then there's Sorcerer's Broom again. Excellent. Oh, I love the art on that. Will always remind me of like evil version of Sorcerer's Apprentice. Frog. I gotta keep this in one of my frog decks. I didn't know that was a thing, but it's fantastic. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a blue frog creature with base power toughness 1/1. The gnat was still hovering by the venison, and now both look delicious. Gilded Goose is our rare. Let's check this out. It's a 1-drop for a flying bird, 0/2 flying. When it enters the battlefield, create a food token. It's an artifact with tap 2 mana, and this card sacrifice the artifact and gain 3 life. Create a food token, add 1 mana of any color. This just keeps laying the golden eggs, man. That's rad. I like that. And a cool island that we haven't seen yet. And a food. There you have it, folks. Throne of Eldraine, a pre-release pack. If we had played specifically on September 28th and 29th of 2019, what do you think? It looks like we probably would have gone red-white, just based on everything we yanked out of there. We did get a lot of cool green, though. Not a ton of blue, but we made up for it with our first 2 Eldraine style of either set showcases. And I gotta say, I like it. It's a different art. Fairies, you know, they're not normally my thing, but anytime you get these different art treatments, I mean, they look great. So, very cool. Very excited to crack into some more Eldraine. I don't come across it very often. I mean, it is, obviously, Thrones is a lot older. Throne, I keep saying Thrones. Wilds is more recent, but, you know, equally kind of difficult for me to find where I'm at. So, man, that thing looks cool, too. That was a nice little promo card. But that'll about do it for tonight's story time. Sweet dreams. Don't end up in the witch's cottage. Sealed packs are for cowards, and until next time, peace.